Good morning, students. Welcome to SRPS online classes. Children, today we are going to read chapter number 9 of your English literature book, and the chapter is The Mango Story. In this story, there is a grandpa who is telling us a story, and that grandpa was Amit's grandpa. So, let's begin the story. It was a day the children of Springer schools looked forward to Grandparents' Day. In the story, the children of Springer schools, they all were looking forward to Grandparents' Day, and that day was their favorite day because this day meant lots of fun, storytelling games, activities and singing. Amit's grandfather, Mr. Sharma, was quite a favorite with the children of class 5. He always had a funny stories to tell. He would ask the children questions in between, sing a song or two, and sometimes get them to wear masks and act. Okay. The Grandparents' Day was favorite of the children because this day means they played many games, storytelling activities, and they sang the song. Okay, Amit grandfather, Mr. Sharma, was quite a favorite with the children of class 5. And the grandfather of Amit, he was favorite among the children because he tells the story, okay, and he always had funny stories to tell. He would ask the children questions in between, sing a song or two, and sometimes he would ask them to wear mask and act. What story are you going to tell us today, Grandpa? Asked one of the children. One of the child asked to Grandpa, which type of story are you going to tell us today, Grandpa? And then Grandpa's answer, do you want to hear an animal story or a funny story about silly people? He asked them, which type of story do you want to hear, an animal story or a funny story? A funny story about silly people. They all chimed in. Chimed in means they all sat together. They all sat together that they want to hear a funny story about the silly people. Well, I have got your story ready, but first a riddle. One day a man was walking through the streets when he saw a small fruit shop. There he saw an apple and a man. Ahem, Grandpa coughed. Go. Then he paused and asked, what did the man buy and eat? Then Grandpa said that I have got your story ready. The story is ready, but first I would like to ask a riddle. So he asked the riddle. He said, one day a man was walking through the street when he saw a small fruit shop. One day he was walking through the street and he saw a fruit shop. There he saw an apple and a man. Then Grandpa suddenly coughed and he paused. Then he paused and asked, what did the man buy and eat? Then he asked what the man bought and ate. We'll give you the answer later. Tell us the story first, the children demanded. The children were very to hear the story. Then they said that we will give the answer of the riddle after some time. First tell us the story. So Grandpa began his story. He started the story. A certain man by the name of Gopal was expecting a visit from a friend he had not met in many years. In this story, there was a man whose name is Gopal, and he was waiting a visit from a friend. He was waiting for his friend who had not met in many years. He knew that his friends liked mangoes very much. He knew that the mangoes are liked by his friend. So he asked his servant to go and buy the finest mangoes in the market. Then he asked to his servant, go to the market and buy some sweet mangoes from the market. When the servant came back, he showed the 2 mangoes he had bought to his master. Gopal was satisfied that they were best. He told the servant to dice them and serve them to the guest when he arrived. Then Gopal's servant went to the market and he bought sweet mangoes, and he showed the mangoes to his master, and then Gopal, his master, was satisfied with them and they were the best. He said they were the best mangoes. Then Gopal told his servant that dice them, cut them and serve them to the guest when he arrived. He said, when my friend came here, then dice these mangoes and serve to the friend. The mangoes smell oh so sweet. I wonder what they taste like. If they smell so sweet, they must taste even sweeter, thought the servant as he cut them. I'll taste just this one piece. When the servant was cutting the mango, its smell was so sweet. And he said, I wondered. It means he wondered what they taste like. If its smell is so sweet, then its taste is also so sweet. So they must taste even sweeter. So he wanted to taste them, and he thought, I'll just taste this one piece. He thought that he would eat only one piece of them. However, he couldn't resist the temptation to go on eating. 1 became 2, 2 became 4, and soon there were no more mangoes left. As he was also fond of mangoes, he couldn't resist the temptation. He couldn't control of them. Okay, then he ate 1, then 2, then 4, and soon there were no more there was no more mangoes left. He ate all the mangoes. Suddenly he saw the guest coming towards the house. When he ate all the mangoes, now he was worried what he had done. And he saw that, at that time he saw that the guest, the friend of his master, was coming towards the house. Oh no, what am I going to do now? There are no more mangoes to serve to the guest. Think. Then he asked to himself, what am I going to do now? What I had done? There are no mangoes to serve to the guest. Then he grabbed a rusty knife, rushed to his master, and said, I can't cut the mangoes. The knife is too blunt. Then he grabbed a rusty knife. He took a rusty knife and ran to his master and said, I can't cut the mangoes as the knife is too blunt. Okay, then I'll sharpen it. Gopal offered and went to the sharpening wheel in garden shed. Then Gopal said to him that, give me the knife, I'll sharpen it. And he went to the sharpening wheel in the garden shed. Then the servant ran out to meet the man who was coming. When Gopal was sharpening the knife, at that time, the servant ran out to meet the man who was coming. At that time, the guest, the friend of Gopal, came there. Then the servant ran out to meet him. Beware, beware, he said anxiously. Don't come to our house. He pleaded. Pleaded means asked for something seriously. Then he said anxiously. Anxiously means in a worried manner. Then at that time, Gopal's servant was very worried, and he said, "Beware, don't come to our house." He pleaded, "My master has gone mad. He wants to cut off both your ears." Then he said to the guest that his master Gopal had gone mad, and he wanted to cut off both your ears if you met him. "Cut my ears!" exclaimed the man, turning pale. Why? Turning pale means looking almost white because of fear. When Gopal's servant said to him that if he meet with his master, he would cut his ears. Then he was frightened, and he said, "Cut my ears." The man turning pale. Why he would cut my ears? "Yes, see there, he's sharpening a knife," said the servant, pointing at his master. Then Gopal's servant said to the guest that, "Look at my master, he is sharpening a knife for cutting to your ears." Then when saw that his host did really have a knife in his hand and was sharpening it, he also had a very strange look on his face. Then the guest saw at his friend, and he saw a knife in his hand, and he also had a very strange look on his face. "I am not going in there," he told the servant firmly, and turning around quickly started walking away as fast as he could. As he was frightened, so he said, "I am not going in there. I am not going to meet my friend." And he wanted to beg, and he walked away as fast as he could, and he ran very fast. Then the servant rushed back to his master and told him that the guest had run away with the mangoes. At the same time, the servant went to his master, and what did he say? He said to his master that his friend rushed back to his friend had run away with the mangoes. He said that his friend stole the mangoes and he ran away. "What?" said his master, horrified. Horrified means shocked. Hearing this thing, his master was shocked. He said, "What? The greedy fellow, has he taken all the mangoes?" Then he asked to his servant, "Has he taken all the mangoes?" "Yes," said the servant. Then said, "Yes, he took all the mangoes." Then Gopal, with the knife still in his hand, ran after the man, shouting, "Please give me one at least." Then Gopal was also fond of mangoes, so he ran after his friend, and he said, "Please give me one mango, please give me one mango." The other man thought he was asking for one of his ears, and he ran for his life. And his friend thought that he wanted to his ears. That's why he was running after him. The children laughed and laughed as Grandpa mimicked the man holding onto his ears and running away. Then, hearing this thing, give me one, and children were laughing. And why they were laughing? As Grandpa mimicked. Mimic means copied to someone. As Grandpa copied the man who held onto his ears and running away. "I can't stop laughing," said Ashraf. All were laughing, and then Ashraf said, "I can't stop laughing." "And now for the riddle. Has anyone thought of the answer?" asked Grandpa. Then Grandpa asked about the riddle. Has anyone thought of the answer? Has anyone knew the answer? Yes, I have. Then Meena said very excitedly as she knew the answer. He said, yes. I think you mean he saw a man go, which means he bought an apple. Brilliant thinking, Meena. Let's clap for her, said Grandpa. Then Meena gave the answer. She said, I think you mean he saw a mango, which means he bought an apple. And for you, Grandpa, they all chorused. They all were very happy. So, what did you learn from the story? Grandpa asked to the children. What did you learn from the story, children? Don't do bad things and you won't have to tell lies. He said that we should never do bad things and we should never tell lies. Zoe observed promptly. Grandpa was happy that they had understood the story. Then all children said yes, said that yes, we should not do bad things and we should not tell lies. Then Grandpa was very happy as all the children had understood the story. So that ends our story. Thank you.